This is one of the most important phases of project management. Why? Because you can't execute anything unless you first initiate that thing. So let's talk about project initiation and what it means to get a project off the ground. Project initiation. We're going to talk about the purpose of initiation. We're going to talk about comparing project options. And we're going to talk about a very important tool, the project charter. The initiation phase. During this phase, the business problem or opportunity is defined, the solution is defined, and the project is formed. During this phase, we also create a business case for the project, and the team is appointed to execute the project. The business case. In the business case, we define the problem or opportunity we're trying to go after, and we use a detailed description of that problem by including an introduction, a problem opportunity statement, the assumptions and constraints that we have to deal with in addressing this problem or opportunity, and the alignment with the organizational objectives. We also talk about potential solutions that we could go after as a part of the project. You also have an analysis of the benefits, costs, and issues which set up the scenario for why you're going the direction you're going and why a project may be needed. You also have a description of the preferred solution that you're going after as a part of the business case. You also have the main project requirements, why you have to achieve what you need to achieve in order to move things forward. You have potential risks, and you have a summarized plan for implementation, which includes a schedule and a financial analysis. One of the most important parts of project management when you're engaging in work that you're getting ready to start as a part of a single project is to have a business case. The business case lets everybody know why you are about to do what you're about to do and the value of doing it versus other alternatives that you could choose to accomplish the same outcomes. So the business case is a very important thing that you need in order to get a project off the ground. Don't develop the business case by yourself. You must develop that business case with a team of people looking at all the possible benefits, all the possible costs, and the impacts as well as the risks that you have to incur in order to get the project going. Financial considerations. So when you're deciding on what project to go after or a project to execute, there's a couple of ways you could figure out if it's the right thing to do. We'll talk briefly about these three ways: net present value, internal rate of return, and payback analysis. Net present value analysis. This approach to deciding if a project is worth doing considers the time value of money. What it does is it takes the costs from the future years and discounts it so that it can be represented in today's dollars during the present time. Tangible benefits also are discounted to the present time. So everything you do is in today's dollars. Here's a calculation for it. You take the cash flow at time t, let's say in the future, you divide it by 1 plus the interest rate that you're going to discount that cash flow, and then you take that number and you raise it to the power of t, which is the time of the cash flow. This formula is used in annual inflows and outflows of cash. So by using this formula, you turn your annual cash flows in the future into present dollars, which helps you make a decision on if you should do the project or not. If your net present value is above zero, then it may be a project that you want to do because that tells you that the amount of value that this project is going to generate is actually going to be positive. If the net present value is less than zero, you should reject this project because it says that everything that you're going to get back is going to be less than what it's really taken to get that project off the ground. If the net present value is equal to zero, then it tells you that your investment is not going to be a loss and it may not be a gain as well. So you have a choice to make. Does it make sense to do it or not? Rate of return. The total benefits minus the total costs divided by the total costs give you your rate of return. This is great for trying to decide between alternatives of projects that you want to execute, since all of the projects are based on limited resources. So what you want to do is make sure that your rate of return is as high as possible based on the benefits that you project you're going to get from the project compared to the cost it's going to take to execute the project. Payback analysis compares the cumulative costs to the cumulative benefits. It's easy to see in a graphical format as well. It is measured based on time on a horizontal axis and money on a vertical axis. Here's an example of payback analysis, where you look at the costs that go into a project plotted against the benefits you're earning as you execute the project. What you want to see in a payback analysis is that your cumulative benefits always is higher or more than your cumulative costs. If you have a graph that looks like this when you're analyzing your project based on payback, this is a project that over time you want to invest in. If the curves were inverted, then this is a project that you would not want to invest in because your costs into the future would be more than any of your benefits that you're going to get from the project.